There have been plenty of RPGs grace the portable screen on the iOS platform. Most of them attempt to clone a popular console RPG or stay close to the traditional trends of the genre. Developer Tasty Poison was looking to reinvent the genre in some interesting ways with its latest release for the iPad. My name is Tony from the Classically Gaming and Electronic Podcast, and today I'm reviewing the game Pocket RPG, published by Crescent Moon Games. Tasty Poison was looking to accomplish some new things with Pocket RPG. It seems like they were looking to take the traditional time-consuming elements out of an RPG, such as a strong story, continuity, and so on, and condense the remaining elements to focus strictly on quick play and portability. So the question we have to evaluate and ask ourselves is, does this work? Well, let's start with the gameplay. When you fire up Pocket RPG, you have the choice of options, starting a campaign, and that's it. So it's strictly a single-player experience with Game Center enabled. When you start a quest, you pick from one of three characters, the Warrior, Mage, and Rogue, and these are pretty traditional. The Warrior is great with hand-to-hand combat, the Mage uses magic, and the Rogue is mainly a distance or bow warrior. There's no character customization, you just simply start the game. A map appears with several world locations on it, and you can only play one world at a time to unlock them as you progress throughout the game. There's no real story to the game. Each of the worlds kind of have their own story. Each world has 2 to 3 levels and then a boss, and you get the sense that there's just some sort of evil in the world that you're trying to battle. So it's a very cut and dry generic RPG story. At the end of each world you earn stars and gold for your achievements, so you can level up the abilities of your character is able to achieve in the next world. What I'm saying is that there's absolutely no continuity to this RPG. Even though you technically unlock upgrades at the end of each world, all that does is unlocks the potential of your character achieving something great in the next world. So if you unlock spirit arrows, you can discover spirit arrows in the next world, but you don't necessarily start with them in the world. Basically what I'm trying to say is that this game is a series of standalone RPG experiences. At each world you start over at level 0. You start with bad weapons at the beginning of each world, and you start basically from scratch, leveling up and collecting items over and over at the start of each world. Now this game completely randomizes each world, so you could play the same world twice and have kind of a different experience because loot's going to be in a different place, there's going to be different items and things like that. So that's kind of how they put the twist on the RPG experience and replayability, by allowing you to play a world over and over and kind of gain different experiences. So what they were trying to accomplish is trying to create a game that allowed for short, separate RPG experiences, just to give you that RPG fix, without having to spend tons of time on the traditional RPG elements such as character creation, strong leveling up, character modification, and so on. The actual gameplay is very simple and functions like a dual-stick shooter. You move from area to area, looting dungeons, destroying waves of enemies, leveling up, unlocking new weapons, and fighting bosses. When you clear a level, the game automatically saves and you can start at the next level if you restart the game. Each world has a main end boss, and once you defeat it, you unlock the next world. The game levels up your character automatically, and that happens frequently throughout the world. But as I mentioned earlier, you lose your levels and start from scratch at the beginning of each world. The inventory screens are typical of an RPG, just a lot more simple. Your character has 4 equipable slots, a weapon, amulet, ring, and ammunition slot, and as you discover new items, simply clicking on them will show you how much more or less powerful they are than the current item you have equipped. To switch out an equipped item with an item in your inventory, you simply drag it over and replace it. So it's real simple, to the point, and doesn't take much time. Whatever ammunition you have equipped, you have an unlimited supply, and you cannot carry your items to the next world. Much like leveling up, you start over at the beginning of each world. Graphically, the game is beautiful, and I really liked the graphics. The camera angles were perfect, and you can see everything clearly in each world. The color palette is bright and well designed, and they did a great job of bringing out the iPad HD graphics. As far as controls are concerned, if you played a dual stick shooter, you're going to be right at home with Pocket RPG. Although it has RPG in the title, the controls are dual stick based, so you move with the left thumbstick and you shoot and use your weapons with the right. It does work better than most I have played, so Tasty Poison did a really nice job with the controls. In conclusion, I have to say it's hard to give Pocket RPG my full recommendation. I can see what developer Tasty Poison was trying to do. They wanted to offer an RPG that gave you an RPG fix on the go, that was simplified, so if you had 20 to 30 minutes, you could play through a world experience leveling up with an RPG. Unfortunately, they also took out the strong story that travels across the game, and while they may have succeeded at what they were trying to do, in my mind they sacrificed the things that make an RPG an RPG. RPGs are meant to have strong stories and characters that develop over the entire game. They're just not meant to be short and quick experiences. I did have a lot of fun with Pocket RPG, but I got bored with it quickly because all I was really enjoying was the graphics and the dual stick shooting part. I didn't really feel like it fulfilled my RPG itch. I do like the idea of a more user-friendly RPG, and I'm excited to see what Tasty Poison develops with in the future, but I just can't see sacrificing the things that make an RPG just that. And I felt like Pocket RPG did. Thanks for watching my review of Pocket RPG for the iPad. Please check out our podcast at classiclead.com and visit us on the new gaming site glitch-out.com.